Hi. So today I want to talk about, first of all, I want to introduce my sponsor today. And my sponsor is coffee. I know this one's for my older sister, Larissa. She loves her coffee. And I think a lot of you watching are a little bit into your coffee. And the reason why you guys are into your coffee, I think, is because it's a great opportunity to get the energy into your day and start, generating energy. But I actually want to talk about how we can generate energy without coffee. Today I was listening to this podcast and I posted it on my page, whoever wants to listen to it. It's by Brendon Buchard, and the topic that he speaks about is generating energy based off of the book he wrote called High Performance Habits. So high performers, people who are successful, productive, happy, they tend to have certain character qualities. Marta says she's drinking coffee as she's watching it. Marta, it's 10:30 at night. What are you doing? This is not a good idea. What was I saying? I got distracted by you drinking your coffee. Girl, that is too late at night. I don't know what you're doing. Are you staying up for the night? Is that the plan? Are you crazy? Be careful. That's dangerous. Okay. So anyway, high performance habits. Do you guys want to know how to generate your own energy? When I read this, or listened to it rather, I wanted to know badly how to generate my own energy, because every morning I wake up depleted, like the day hasn't even started yet, and I'm already thinking like, I could use like an extra hour of sleep right now. Who feels this way? Does anyone else want a little more time in bed? Okay, so I'm the only one. No one else is liking. I'm alone. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because I tried what he said and it helped me. So I want to share it with you. So picture this. It's Sunday morning, 4 kids in the house. 2 of them are in diapers. It's kind of crazy. Sundays are the heaviest day of the week for me because it's like unpredictable. So I walk into it with like a lot of anxiety and thinking like I'm stressed out because like it's usually a lot of things happening, right? So I tried what he did and I want to share with you. Doing this is a game changer. I'm going to try to do it every day because consistency is key. If you want to see change in your life, and something you're doing is working for you, be consistent. You will become, like what he describes, a high performer, because there is no difference between us and people of a very high caliber of like energy, activity, ability. Only difference is they have different habits than we do. And it's not about their internal abilities that comes naturally, they're gifted, their genes. He's saying it's none of that. It's all your own ability to just practice what they're doing. And he actually implemented what he's learned in his research for himself. So he shares that with everyone. I was pretty like inspired. The things he said wasn't that hard. Okay, I know. You want to know what it is. Okay. Number 1. He says a lot of us waste a lot of energy on transitioning. And anyone understands what that means, transitioning? In the morning you wake up, you transition from sleep to being awake. When you go to work, you transition from being, dropping off the kids or being at home on the bus or on the train, in the car, to being at work. There's that moment of like switch over. Every time you switch over, there's that transition. So Olivia's like, yes, okay, I'm glad you got that, because I have that. I have that major. Every Sunday morning is like the worst day of the week for me. And everybody has it. Like children also, I think some children experience this more than others, where they hate the small transitions. I hate all transitions. I don't even know how I got married and got a job, had kids. I mean, all of those are huge transitions. I look back and think like I must have been drugged. I don't know, because I really suck at transitions myself. But I did what he said and I had a very productive morning. So this is what I did. So he says, before you enter the next activity, so you're in bed, right? Before you wake up, you have that moment where you're like, you realize that you're awake before you open your eyes, right? He says, imagine releasing tension. Just release. So he says, breathe and say to yourself, release, 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 release. And there's no coffee. It's just, you just release. And then you set intention. That's the second part. So you release tension, and then you set intention. And again, this guy's named Brendon Buchard. If you want to look him up, I posted him on my wall in his audio book. It's his book. He switched to audios. He made an audio version, so it's for free. You know, I'm all about the free stuff, and all about sharing it. Okay, setting intention means, what is my vision for whatever it is I'm about to enter, right? I'm about to enter the day, or I'm about to enter the house after work. And I think a lot of us do this just because we have to. We're coming into the house, we're like, I gotta cook, I have to clean, I gotta get the kids in the shower, you know, all these chores we're planning. But are we setting an intention of how we're gonna do it? What's the focus of what energy we're gonna bring into the situation? And before you come into a space, your energy is already speaking for you. You don't even need to speak. How many of us have seen this when somebody we love, even our child or your husband, somebody, anybody walks into the room and you're already like, what's wrong? What happened? You already sense something's off because you feel the energy that they're walking in with. That's that transition that they're coming in with from the previous situation that they're in. So I tried this setting intention when I was in the bed, and I woke up with like a little more energy. You know, it was great. I then followed with another recommendation, which I'm going to share with you, which means when you set intention, you also want to bring the joy. And bringing the joy, he says, high performers can generate energy and they bring the joy into the situation. And he says every morning he does this in the shower, where he asks himself 3 questions. And I actually did this, ask myself 3 questions today. What are you excited about today? You don't have to do this in the shower. Obviously, you can do this on your way to work. You can do this wherever. But you're preparing your whole mind for the entire day with a positive outlook. Okay? What are you excited about today? I said I'm excited about this Facebook Live. Because this is something that belongs to just me. You know, it's not for my kids, not for my husband. I just, you know. So I was excited about that. And then the second question is, what is one way to make someone else happy today? So when we share joy, when we give joy, what else happens? We end up receiving it, right? So one way to generate joy and the energy you want is by giving something to someone good. Okay. The third thing is, what is something, and this is good because this is being realistic. What is something that can be stressful in my day? And what is one way my best self can deal with it? So let's say you're dealing with a situation with your spouse, right? You're stressed out, you had an argument the night before, and you're thinking, I'm stressed out about that situation. He's gonna walk into the house soon, and I anticipate, you know, what's gonna happen. One way to handle that is by asking yourself this question, imagining that yes, you're being realistic, this is something you're dealing with, and then following up with, what is one way my best self can handle this? Because everyone has a best self, right? It's when you use your brain, that's when your best self is working best. And we can see how this really works. Remember last time I spoke about this, stop, challenge, choose, where we're faced with a challenge and then we decide what we want to do. We have to choose our higher brain. Here, it's like choosing before the challenge. Like, before he comes into the space and I have a discussion or whatever, or there's a conversation between a husband and wife, before that happens, I'm already choosing what I want. That's powerful. You're not even waiting for the event. You're preparing mentally for this event. Okay? I'm just looking at what I said. So a lot of this is about priming your emotions. When you, a lot of people are emotional eaters. Like, they eat when they're stressed, right? So one way to deal with that is, before you get stressed, you prime your emotions for the whole day. Thank you, Olga. You are amazing as well for these eyebrows. Olga did my eyebrows because Ella, you were not available. But Olga, you did so great. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Olga, you rock. Okay, so prime your emotions with visualization. That way you don't have to be an emotional eater if you have more control over your emotions, right? You can just visualize your day going better, preparing yourself mentally with that intention, what he was saying, priming your brain, and then being optimistic about it. So that's what the people who were high performers basically had. And I want to end with this quote by Einstein. And he was all about the physics, okay? This is not philosophy. Everything is energy. Everything. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It cannot be any other way, he says. And this is not philosophy, this is physics. So there. It's physics. Can't argue with that. It's not a theory. And energy is contagious, guys. The energy you have the power to bring into a room, that's so powerful. It's like you either bring in perfume and everybody else smells delicious from you, or you bring in gasoline and you smell like what's that place where the gasoline place? The place where they, fill gasoline in the cars. Guys, I don't drive, okay? This is a topic for another discussion, so I don't fill my tank. So I don't really know what that place is called. I forgot. I'm sorry. Please write it there if you remember. So wonderful talking to you all. And I love speaking with you guys. It brings me so much joy and energy. The gas station. Thank you. This is so embarrassing. I'm going to bring it back to my sponsors. Thank you guys. The gas station. All right. We have to have another talk about how I don't drive another time. So that way we can talk about helping me, because I have a problem and it's called fear. And I talk a lot about dealing with your fear, but yet this is something I'm dealing with. I don't know. Does anyone else have this problem where they're struggling with driving? Mazal said she'll teach me how to drive, and she's very pregnant, so I'm not gonna make you drive. Thank you, Mazal. Yes, I'm gonna bring it back to my coffee. You don't necessarily need coffee. You think you need it to help you bring energy, but all you really need is the power of your mind. All right? Energy comes from within you. And I wrote a different quote here. I know I was gonna end, but got sidetracked by all your beautiful words and inspiration about how I'm gonna drive. Anyway, what was it here? Aristotle said this, okay, and he was a philosopher, so I'm gonna get into philosophy a little bit. He said, the energy of the mind is in the essence of life. So the energy of your mind, that's really the essence of your life. Wow, that's pretty deep. That's all of you. You need to just push through that fear we all have that when we first started. I don't know what you wrote, Elizabeth. I'm assuming you're saying I should drive. Okay. All right, Olivia, I know you like your coffee. I remember from college. Okay, so it was wonderful chatting with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for participating with me. And please let me know if you did anything of this, because I really love to hear your comments if it's actually working for you. It worked for me, but remember, consistency, that's really what generates real change. You thought of these questions today, think of them again tomorrow, and then repeat it. And I'm going to do it with you, because I also feel that it helped me. I got so much more productivity done today. I was so productive. By 10 o'clock, I bathed 2 little kids. I made breakfast, and I showered. This is huge. And I'm sharing this with you guys because if I can do it, you can do it. I'm serious. And one day I will drive too, just like you guys do. Empowering women that I visualize myself driving all the time. And one day I will actually sit there and do it. I have my license, whoever's wondering. It took me 3 tries. This is a discussion for another time. So, I did it. Anyway, bye. Take care.